Hi guys, I'm Missy, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. So I thought I'd do a little fun video today for you guys. As you can see, I'm kind of rocking some older style stuff. You guys remember these headbands from back in the day? And then of course I've got my Smashing Pumpkins shirt on. So you can kind of guess what I'm going to do today. But if you haven't guessed yet, I am going to do my makeup the way I did in the 90s. It is vastly different from how I do my makeup now. As you can see, not very many products in here as opposed to all this stuff I have behind me now. Your girl is not 16, 17 anymore, so I did do a bit of skincare, but back in the day, the only skincare I ever did was Noxzema for my face wash. I'll try and find a picture and pop up over here so you guys can see what I used. And then I did put a bit of color corrector under here because I'm in my 40s now, so I got some eye bags and stuff going on that you don't necessarily have when you're 15, 16, 17 years old. So but I'm just going to show you the products as I use them. I am going to take my rings off though, because how I apply the makeup is vastly different as well. So the first item is the CoverGirl Clean Liquid Foundation in the shade 130 Classic Beige. And this is what I used back in the day. It had a blue cap back then, if I remember correctly, and it smelled like Noxzema. And I'm curious. Still does. Wow. That's pretty strong scent. Yeah, so how I applied this, no sponges, no brushes, just my hands. So let's just get started. And I would just dot it all over my face. No rhyme or reason, just wherever. Oh, that smell, man. I don't know how I did this every day in high school. Alright, let's start with that. I may have to add more. But I would just take my hands and just rub it all over my face. And this is so not my shade, but this was the shade I always used because this is way too light for me now. Probably was back then too, to be honest with you. I did not use concealer back then because I didn't need it. I was young. But like I said, I did put some color corrector under my eyes to kind of help with my under eye bags I have now. Alright. Oh, it feels like an oil slick on my face. And I have oily skin on top of that. I always have. Oh my goodness. Alright. I'm gonna add some more. So I'm curious how many of you that watch my channel are around my age range. And I'm curious how you did your makeup. Did you do very similar to me so far with how you applied your foundation? Or were you more advanced for back then? Alright. I wouldn't put too much more on because I feel like it'll look cakey on me. And if I can find pictures that are good quality from when I was in high school, maybe middle school, but I mostly wore makeup in high school. I had a dad who was a little strict on makeup. Like, your girl here really would have preferred to be rocking the goth makeup back in the day. But no way I could have done that with my dad. Kind of ironic that I have a makeup channel now, isn't it? Alright, I'm just going to clean my hands off with a makeup wipe so I don't get foundation all over everything. And no bronzer. Nope, did not do bronzer. Did not do concealer. I have naturally thin brows, which I will be doing here in a minute. Alright. Then, after I did my foundation, then I went in with the CoverGirl powder foundation. This is not exactly like what I used. The compact is different, but it seems very similar. Again, it's in the shade 130 Classic Beige. This is the one that I picked up. That is close enough. I mean, obviously things are not going to stay the same. It's been several years. And this foundation is super powdery. I used the sponge, so here we go. Let's make myself look cakey. And I did it all over my face. That's one difference between now and back then, how I did the order of my makeup. Because I used to do foundation, powder, that stuff first. Now I don't. I do primer, and I do my eyes, and then I do my base. Bring it down the neck. Okay, there's step 2. Now let's go into step 3, which is my brows. And I used Wet n Wild's eyeliners in a dark brown. I also used this for my lip liner, which I'm going to do today. This is not the exact pencil I used, but it's very close. I am gonna cheat and grab a little handheld mirror though, so I can see what I'm doing. Because again, your girl's gotten older and my eyesight's not what it used to be. Alright, so I did not brush up my brows like I do now, so I'm just kind of like taking my finger to kind of like thin across here. Alright, so I would just literally draw a line, the shape of my brow, and I would just kind of color it in. And let me tell you, I did not have this dark colored hair back then. I had like a dirty blondie, sandy blonde kind of color. So the the brows were vastly different from the color of my hair. It would be like, pow, dark brow with blondish colored hair. Alright. Let's do the other one. I've been hearing that thin brows are coming back, which, I mean, That's cool for me because I have naturally thin brows anyways. I have to really work to kind of fill them in and make them kind of stand up. But please, girls, if you're younger and you're learning from our past mistakes, if you have naturally thick brows, please do not pluck your brows because they take forever to grow back, from what I've heard from others during my generation. If you did that back in the day, leave me a comment. You plucked your brows and you're regretting it now. Alright. We'll come back to this in a little bit. Color of this one was Simma Brown Now is the name of this one, but I think back in the day the one I used was just called Dark Brown. And then I would just kind of go whoop, whoop, whoop. Alright. And next, we're going to do the eyeshadow. And this was all the eyeshadow I ever did. If it wasn't this like stark white shade, it was more of like a really light brown, but most of the time I was rocking this really white shade. This is in Snow Blossom from CoverGirl. As you can see, I used quite a bit of CoverGirl. It was what I could afford. And I'm going to use the little applicator because that's how I put it on. No eye primer. And I would just load up the applicator. Oops. I would just load up this applicator as much as I could. And I would just apply it all over my lid. This one has a bit of sparkle to it, which sometimes I would wear the one with sparkle, but most of the time it would be kind of a matte white. Going back in and adding more because I would make it very visible. Oh man, I would never wear this makeup out now. Never. More power to anybody who does still. It's just not me. It's not me anymore. It's not my style. I'm having fun with this though. It's definitely taking me back. And blending just wasn't a thing. At least not for me anyways. Alright. There's so much kick up in that pan. And then who can forget this mascara, right? The Maybelline Great Lash, the pink and green tube. I was so shocked to still find this. I did not curl my lashes back then. This is me right now still trying to like fix it and make it somewhat somewhat good. But I was so shocked to still find this. Like I said, I did not curl my lashes back then at all. And look at this little applicator. I'm just gonna go straight in to the lashes, and I have horrible tiny lashes that just go straight down. I mean, still a pretty good mascara. Doesn't feel clumpy like it used to back in the day. I think they might have improved the formula a little bit. Maybe. That, there you go. No mascara, mascara. Definitely a wet formula. Alright, and then go back in, do the other eye. Might add some more layers. And I did not do mascara on my bottom lashes like I do now. And I don't put eyeshadow underneath like I do now. That's a big difference. And I would use several shades on my lids, not just one. I'm just building this mascara up, and it is starting to get clumpy now. I don't know if you guys can see it's like clumping on the ends. I've got some on my lid, but I'll clean that up. And it feels kind of heavy. I will say that it does a good job of lengthening and separating. Quite surprised at that. Alright, so there is the lashes. And nowadays I will put a water line eyeliner in my and nowadays I'll put a color eyeliner like in my waterline to kind of match with what I'm doing, or something that's like brightening. But I didn't do that back then. One, I was afraid to. I was still pretty new to makeup, and I mean, it was basic. So we are at the last step now in my makeup routine. That's one thing I will say, my makeup routine was a lot quicker back then than it is now. A lot quicker. But we're going back in with that same eyeliner. So one of the things I used to do with the eyeliner as well is I would go under the eyes with it. I'm not going to do that today because my eyes are super sensitive and I don't like these wooden sharp pencils. So I'm not going to do that today, but I would use it for my brows, under my eyes, on my lash line, and my lip liner. So what we're going to do last step, my lip liner. And the darker I could get the brown for my lips, the better. And I would just follow my natural lip line. Now, instead of doing this so like exaggerated pointy, I do a little more rounded. And I overline my top lip a little bit. So, along with that, I would do kind of a goldy, glossy lip, which was from Wet n Wild. They don't really carry that anymore. They've kind of changed them. So I got two. They're still very similar tubes. I got two. I'm going to try to combine them to try and get the color I got. I got 554B, which is Bronze Berry, and I also got 555B Rose Gold. So I am going to put the berry one on first. The Bronze Berry. I don't remember these smelling like kind of vanilla sweet. They actually smell like chemically back in the day. Then I would just go over my lip. And I'm trying to build it up because the one I used back in the day was a lot more opaque than this. This one's a little more sheer. There's the Bronze Berry with the lip liner itself. It's just a little darker than what I would have done back then. So I'm going to go over the Rose Gold and see if I can kind of tone it down. Well, kind of like make it a little lighter. Not really tone it down because it's metallic, shiny. It's kind of in your face. See the difference? See the top lip's still darker. This is a thick formula. No setting sprays, nothing like that. It just depended on the powder to do what I needed it to do, and it didn't always do what I needed it to do, to be honest with you. But this is the finished look. This is how I did my makeup in the 90s. I'm gonna fix this little area right there, and I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and this is the finished look. Let's talk about it. So, foundation, definitely not my shade, probably never was, to be honest with you. Hate the smell. I don't know how I handled that every day for school, but I did. Definitely going to be decluttering this one or giving it away. So yeah, not a keeper for me. Then we have the CoverGirl pressed powder in the same shade, which are both 130 Classic Beige. You can't really see it on camera because the lights kind of smooth things out, but this is so cakey in person. It is clinging to every bit of texture on my face that I have. So, no thanks. Not keeping that one either. Next, the eyeliner that I used for my brows, sometimes under my eyes, and for my lip liner. While I still really enjoy a dark lip liner and a lighter lipstick on the middle. I don't really go for this like glossy metallic too much anymore, and I do not like my brows at all. It looks like I just kind of like took a Sharpie and just kind of drew it on. So yeah, this would be cute as just like an eyeliner, just a basic eyeliner, which is what it's meant for. But again, I don't like this style of eyeliner either, because this is like the tuggy wooden ones. So nope, wouldn't use this again either. So far, 3 makeup items that I've used over and over every day as a kid, I would not use now. The eyeshadow, the single eyeshadow in the shade Snow Blossom. I definitely would not wear it like this. What I might use it for would be like inner corner or a brow bone highlight. So I could potentially have a use for this, and I definitely would not apply it with this applicator, because it was very difficult. As you can see, like, I totally missed getting down to the inner part of my eye on both sides, and I went over and over and over with it. So this was kind of a maybe, I guess, because I could have a use for it. The mascara, actually, other than it being kind of clumpy, which I could fix that by going through with one of those like lash combs, I do like that it lengthened and separated my lashes, so I'll probably still keep this and use it on occasion in my collection. And that's the Maybelline Great Lash Lots of Lashes Very Black is the shade. I'm curious how it would do on the lower lashes, since it has this like really skinny applicator. I bet it would be really good for lower lashes. So I might try it for that. And then the last 2 items are these lip glosses from Wet n Wild. They're called Mega Slicks, and they're in the shades Bronze Berry and Rose Gold. Yeah, I used to love the like metallic-y glossy lip back in the day. It was one of my favorite things about my routine. Now I don't like it. I think it's because I've become more of a matte liquid lipstick person, and sometimes I'll put a gloss over top of it, but I kind of like a sparkly gloss as opposed to this metallic-y looking gloss. So consensus is about, out of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you're counting the lipstick separately, out of 7 items, I would only still use 2 of them. 5 of them, no, I would not. Alright, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was pretty fun for me. I have not done my makeup like this in a really long time. As you can tell, I've pretty much been laughing at myself the entire time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a fun, quick little video. I've been hearing that, you know, 90s and 2000s trends are coming back. A lot of clothing and things. It's been kind of weird going in stores and seeing things from my teens and from my sister's teens, because she is a 2000s teen. But yeah, I was so shocked to discover these guys in Target, and I forgot how much of a pain they were to put in your hair. I poked myself in the eye about 3 times before I got it back in my hair, and this one has like little stars on it. But I remember I used to wear these quite a lot back in the day. So yeah, if you guys would please like and subscribe down below, it really helps me out and I would appreciate it. Until next time, guys, Bye.